Hello everybody, I'm Hannah, and today we're going to be talking about every single book that's on my June TBR. Okay, so if you're new here, this is a video that I do every single month, and it's basically to pick what I'm going to be reading for the next month. I usually film this, candidly, a bit earlier in the month than I am now. It's currently May 26th, so next month is coming up. Basically, I had a ton of arcs on my TBR this month. This is in May that I'm filming this, and I didn't get to all of them, so I'm anticipating quite a few are going to roll over into June. I tend to read my arcs in order of pub dates in hopes that I will never get too behind on them. Ask me how that's going. Bad. And so essentially what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna go through the arcs that I plan on reading first, or that I have next up on my list. I have 7 currently. They're all of my July and August arcs. So I don't know that I'm going to be getting to every single one of these, but I at least need to get to the 4 July ones. We'll go through that first. So first up, I have Den of Liars by Jessica S. Olsen. I'll put them right here. This is releasing on July 1st. I have A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen, also releasing on July 1st. I'm really excited for this one because I'm reading through Stacey McEwen's Glacian trilogy right now and enjoying it a lot. Next, I have Of Flame and Fury by Michaela Bridges, just Bridge, singular, not multiple, Bridge. That releases July 8th, as well as Lore of the Tides by Annalise Brana, which also releases July 8th. Switching into August, I have If All Else Fails by Emma St. Clair. I've got Heartstrings by Ivy Fairbanks and Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the whole year, and I am so honored to have gotten an arc for that. Those are my 7 arcs that I plan on reading. We'll see what I get to. I did have all of the July ones on my May TBR. I just don't think at this point that I'm going to end up getting to all of them. There's only 5 days left in this whole month. I also recently quit my job, so I'm in my last 2-3 weeks of work there and really in cram mode to pack everything up and hand it off gracefully. So I don't anticipate a lot of reading time in May or the beginning of June. I'm also moving. Let's jump into some physical reads. So currently, I'll kind of go through this. I'm going to have a lot less to pull from the random number generator. I think we're going to do only 3 picks this month, and that's because I already have so many books on my TBR for June that I want to read, from planned buddy reads to buddy reads with my buddy read group. It's at Buddy Read Babes on Instagram. If you would like to join us, you can totally pick any number of buddy reads that you'd like to join. We typically do 3 to 4 a month, and I try to participate in whichever of those I already have the book for, because the point of it is to have everybody get through their physical TBR. So point being, usually I have about 10 to 12 books already picked out, and then I do the difference between 20 for how many spins I'm gonna do for random TBR polls. But because I have 17 this month, we're only gonna do 3. So first up, Tower of Dawn. If you've been here, you know that I am reading through the S.J. Maas verse with my best friend over the course of the year. So our goal is to pick 1 book per month. Not pick, we're reading them in order. Starting with Throne of Glass to ACOTAR. So we're doing 1 book per month. This month for me is Tower of Dawn. I went from Queen of Shadows to Tower of Dawn. This is not the order that you should read it if you're reading it for the first time. You should always go Empire of Storms. Oh my gosh. You should always go Empire of Storms and then Tower of Dawn, or you can tandem read them. I tandem read them. I liked it that way, but I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. When I'm rereading, I like to go Tower of Dawn first because I really like Tower of Dawn. I'm not a hater the way a lot of people are, but I love Empire of Shadows. Why do I keep calling it Empire of Shadows? Empire of Storms. That's one of my favorite books in the series, and there's a huge cliffhanger at the end of it. If you know, you know. And so I like to jump directly from that into Kingdom of Ash. You should start with this one if you're reading it through for the first time. Or sorry, oh my gosh, you should not start with this one if you're doing it for the first time. Empire of Storms, then Tower of Dawn, then Kingdom of Ash. Do as I say, not as I do. It's kind of confusing doing what I say anyway because I can't get a single thought out coherently. Yeah, read Empire of Storms first unless you're rereading. Then I think it's really cool to do it this way just to kind of compare and contrast. That's Tower of Dawn. Next up, I am reading A Dawn of Gods and Fury by K.A. Tucker. This is the final installment in the Fate and Flame series of hers. Sorry if you can hear Captain in the background. He's rolling around like a crazy person. So I'm reading A Dawn of Gods and Fury, which is the 4th installment in the Fate and Flame series by K.A. Tucker. I absolutely love K.A. Tucker. I've really liked this series as well. I've read the other 3. The pacing kind of is weird for me. I feel like I'm either all in on it or it's like really hard to get through like 1% at a time. I have this book shipping to me from Amazon right now, so I'll be able to read the hard copy if I want to. Otherwise, it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I might read it through that as well. Next, we've got The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This is Aveyard, is that how you say it? I am buddy reading this with my friend Faye. We've had this on our buddy reads to do for a while, and so I'm excited to jump into this one. I feel like I'm finally wrapping up enough series that I can jump into some new ones because I've been putting that off for that reason. So hopefully this is good. I've never read anything by Victoria Aveyard before. Aveyard? I don't know how to say her name. Someone tell me how to say it. That's on there. Also a buddy read with Faye and then my friend Mel. We have The Gate to Kagoshima. I was lucky enough to get this from, I believe, Biblio Lifestyle. If not, it was a different book PR company. Sorry if I got that wrong. And it's a paperback, but it has these beautiful spreads, which I'm obsessed with. And it's about Japan and some time travel elements, epic battles, dash of romance, and it's a debut. So I'm really excited to read that. Next, I've got this whole series, which is Firelight by Sophie Jordan. Firelight's first and then Vanish and then Hidden. I've had these on my TBR for a while. They're pretty short, so I figured I could probably get all of them into a single month. I think they're not longer than like, none of them are over 300 pages. So that should be an easy kind of group read. They're also on Kindle Unlimited. The reason I have these on here is because a couple months down the road, there's another spin-off series called Fire in the Sky, which is based in this same world. That one, I believe, someone again can correct me if I'm wrong, has a sequel that's coming out, and I have the arc for that one. So that's like 4 books that I gotta read beforehand. I know people always say, oh, you don't need to read the whole universe first, but I feel like I'd be missing out on something if I didn't and doing the author a disservice by reading out of order. These 3 are this month, and then I think I have a Fire in the Sky next month, and maybe the arc the month after that. I don't remember how I roughly planned it out, but these 3 are for June. Next, I've got Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This book's been everywhere, so if you're blind, sorry, but this book is having a moment. People have been giving this really mixed reviews. I love Devney Perry and I love romantasy, and I'm kind of basic, so I feel like I'll like it regardless. I'm really excited to read it, and this will also be one of our Buddy Read Babes picks for June. Friend Maddie's leading this one, so if you have this and would like to read it with a group of other people, feel free. This cover is also so pretty. So what happened is I pre-ordered this. It got shipped to my house, which has an Amazon locker. We were gone. We were in Alaska, and so I didn't get it until we got back. Locker said that they'd returned the book, so I ordered it again, and then the same day I got 2 copies of it because the other one, the post office, instead of taking it, like shipping it back to Amazon, just dropped it on my doorstep instead. It's been a journey, but that's how I have 2 Shields of Sparrows. So I'll either do a giveaway, or one of these days we want to put a little free library in our front yard. So if we end up doing that, one of them will go in there. Next up, I've got The Half King by Melissa Landers. This is a Fairy Loot edition, and I think it's stunning. Look at that gold plating on the front, and the actual naked book is so pretty. The end papers are gorgeous. Like, this is just a win of a book. Anyway, point being, this is one of Faye's Buddy Read Babes pick. I owned it already and have been really excited to read this for quite some time, so this will be on my June TBR as well. Last but not least, I have Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sabrana. So I had said one of my arcs is the sequel to this book, and I haven't read this book yet. So my goal is to read this one first, obviously, and then read the arc. This is also a Fairy Loot edition, and it has the most darling spreads. And I believe, per usual, the naked cover is absolutely gorgeous too. And pages have some like bronze foiling too. Honestly, Fairy Loot just never misses. Okay, now we're going to pull the 3 books that are going to be randomly generated. So I have a list where I have every single book numbered. So right now we've got 714 books on my TBR. So I'm going to make the wheel out of 714 and do a random spin from that. 566. So let's go see what 566 is. It's Iron and Embers by Helen Scher. I know that this is also a spin-off series, so we're not going to read that one because I don't have the other ones to read beforehand. So let's remove that choice and do another spin. 443. 443 is The Circus Train by Amita Parikh. This is a a book of the month book. I've had it on my TBR for quite some time actually, and I'm not excited to read it. I think I'm just less excited than I was when I first got it. So that'll be a good add. 682. Paper Princess by Erin Watt. This has actually been on my TBR before and I didn't get to it, so maybe this will be the time. I'm really interested in this book. I feel like it gets kind of a bad rep for being trashy, which sometimes works for me. I am basic, as we've previously covered, so that's on there. And our last blind pick, 112, which is How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. That's a book of the month book. I think How to Walk Away might be part of a series, or at least like interconnected standalone. So let me check that really quick. How to Walk Away and Things You Save in a Fire are interconnected, but they can be read independently, it says. So even though they're interconnected, this is the one that you're supposed to read first. So that works out well for me. So How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. So let's do a recap. I'll be reading Lore of the Wilds, The Half King by Melissa Landers, Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, Firelight, Vanish and Hidden by Sophie Jordan, The Gate to Kagoshima by Poppy Kuroki, Red Queen, almost smacked myself in the face with that, by Victoria Aveyard, Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, A Dawn of Gods and Fury by K.A. Tucker, and then Den of Liars, A Forbidden Alchemy of Flame and Fury, Lord of the Tides, If All Else Fails, Heartstrings, and Warrior Princess Assassin, all arcs that are due to come out in either July or August. How to Walk Away by Catherine Center, Princess by Erin Watt, and The Circus Train by Amita Parikh. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know below a few books that you're planning on reading in June. And if you've read any of the ones that I pulled, please let me know. If you want to buddy read anything, you can let me know that too. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy reading some books. Bye.